It's first against second in the game that we have our eyes on. Poland against Argentina. Poland having picked up 4 points from their opening 2 games up against an Argentina side. It bounces back from a shock defeat against Saudi Arabia in their opener to beat Mexico last time out. So all to play for here. Lots of permutations potentially in this group, but we'll keep an eye on them as the night develops. And of course, these two sides know that just a win will be enough to guarantee that they're heading through to the last 16 and as group winners as well. As Poland put the ball down the left-hand side, but it's into touch for a throw-in. Chance then to take you through the lineups. Just one change for Poland after they beat Saudi Arabia last time out. In comes Karol Swiderski, so it's Szczesny in goal and a backline of Kasz, Glick, Kiwior and Berezynski. Midfield holders of Bielek and Krychowiak, Zielinski, Swiderski and Frankowski are the three in support of Lewandowski. And it's Martinez in goal for Argentina as Marcelino Scaloni has made 4 changes. In come Molina, Romero, Alvarez and Fernandes. They are Martinez in goal. Molina, Romero, Otamendi and Acuna in defence. A midfield 3 of McAllister, De Paul and Fernandes. Di Maria, Messi and Alvarez the front 3. And here is Di Maria on the ball. Wins Argentina an early corner, Rob.
Yeah, you'd imagine obviously Argentina are going to do most of the press because they're trailing obviously Poland in the group. I have to admit I've been underwhelmed by both sides so far. Effectively Poland, I'm going to say they've got a little bit lucky. They were outplayed by both sides in terms of shots. Yes, they did miss a penalty against Mexico, but Saudi Arabia doubled their shot count as Messi swings in the first corner. It's headed straight back to him though. Did beat the man at the near post. As the pressure is still on their far post, and it's just glanced off the top of Otamendi. It's gone behind. Polish defender is just clutching his head. Glick doesn't like what Otamendi did. I think he was generally going for the ball. Berezynski, I think it is. He's landed very awkwardly there, Berezynski. I don't think there's any malice from Otamendi, but Poland didn't like the challenge.
Yeah, it wasn't even on Glick, but he was the one that came across to have a word about what he felt was too much physicality from Otamendi. It's his teammate Berezynski who bore the full brunt of it. Otamendi since retreated down the other end of the field as Berezynski is now down receiving a little bit of treatment. It'll take a few seconds off the clock, but as we've seen through this competition, doesn't mean those seconds will be lost as the game goes on. I don't see much wrong with it, to be honest. He's gone up there to try and win the ball. Arms are over the back of the defender, as is often the case. It's any worse than you would see 5 or 6 further times throughout the game tonight, but we'll keep an eye on it. Glick, if he gets the chance, I'm sure we'll be looking to give Otamendi some as this one develops. We're all going to get underway again. Wojciech Szczesny gets the ball moving down the field, looking for the head of Lewandowski. Doesn't reach him. It's headed into touch though for a throw-in. The other game in this group, by the way, is Saudi Arabia against Mexico. We'll keep you in touch with that one if there is any change in the scoreline. As we said from the outset, all 4 nations have got the opportunity to progress tonight, 2 heading through to the last 16, and it has been blown wide open in particular by that opening day win for Saudi Arabia over Argentina. Mexico with just a point to show so far, bottom of the standings, but a win tonight could see them go through if results elsewhere fall in their favour. And the winners and runners-up from this group will go on to take on Australia and France in the last 16 as Poland have it on the edge of the box. Lewandowski cuts back, chance here for the shot. It was looking wide, been blocked by some legs and scooped up into the air. Winning it back there is Bielek, but he's fouled in the process. Free kick for Argentina, but an early warning there for Argentina. Good breakout from Poland.
Yeah, I think particularly from set pieces, I'd fancy Poland to cause problems. It's not the biggest Argentina side out there, and I think they could get opportunities. Whether they have enough ball or set piece situations is another question. But I think that's possibly the one advantage I'd put in Poland's favour. As almost caught in possession there was Molina, but he's quick enough to recover the situation. But yeah, I do think Argentina probably have most of the ball because essentially Poland don't necessarily want it. They haven't had the most of the ball in the 2 previous games, Saudi Arabia or Mexico. They've been outshot both occasions. Yes, they haven't conceded a goal, but I think there's an element of fortune. Saudi Arabia could have scored against them on Saturday, and of course it was a mistake which led to the first Polish goal. Obviously you don't necessarily want to allow Robert Lewandowski a free run at your goal, and he made no mistake. But is he going to see the ball today? It's quite a positive start from Argentina in the sense that they're seeing most of the ball, but as yet they haven't really tested Szczesny.
And they've just been robbed of it, and Poland will break. There's only 2 forwards in this attack, though. Carried downfield by Zielinski. Tried to pick out Lewandowski. Couldn't find the Barcelona striker. And Argentina will clear their lines. That might well be an issue for Poland as the game goes on. The fact that when they do get the chance to counter, they're not going to overcommit. They know that a draw is enough in this game to guarantee that they'll be going through. So certainly as it's 0-0 and early on, they're not going to leave those spaces for Argentina to come and counter back in the other direction. As Argentina move it out wide now through De Paul into Di Maria. Comes infield and leaves it for De Paul again. Now Messi midway through the Poland half, central through to McAllister. The Brighton man goes wide to the left. And then comes the cross from Acuna. Low ball that Glick deals with at the near post. Back out to Acuna, who controls really nicely and drives down the line. Will chop back to get himself some space, and a crossing opportunity maybe for McAllister. He maybe even considered having a pop at goal there and thought best of it. Now it's Messi. Wins the ball back, right-footed shot. Scrambling it through the legs of a defender, pretty tame.
Yeah, I thought it was a poor touch initially, but he was working hard to win it back, and obviously it's his weaker right. It's probably just about on target. He wasn't travelling particularly quickly, but that's, I guess, the problem when you're facing up to Lionel Messi. Not too many space. It didn't appear to be too much in space, but he quickly created some, and then he's got a shot at goal. So obviously it's something Poland will have to be wary of. They are getting into very advanced positions quite easily, Argentina. The final ball hasn't been great into the box, but I'd be quite happy opening 7 minutes if I'm the Argentina boss Scaloni at the moment, because I think they're controlling the early stages at least. Although I did the Denmark game earlier, and you were just waiting for the Denmark goal. The longer the game went on, the less likely they looked like they were going to score. But obviously we're still in the 8th minute. Plenty of time left for Argentina, and I think they've started a more positive too.
Been beyond the group stage of a World Cup, Poland, since 1986 when they got to the round of 16. Now at the group stage in their last 3 World Cup appearances. Top of the standings going into the final round of fixtures. It's theirs to lose as Argentina play a long ball over the top, and it just gets away from Acuna. Out and away for the goal kick. Lots of Argentina fans in attendance tonight. There's been huge travelling support from the South American Giants. The atmosphere in their game against Mexico was one of the better ones that has been at the competition so far. Throw now for Poland, just midway through their own half, down the right-hand side, as Alexis McAllister had lost it. It's another Premier League man in Aston Villa's Matty Cash, who takes the throw, plays it off the back of Julian Alvarez, and out for another throw. Argentina fans trying to create that atmosphere once again, but it won't faze Poland. They know what they're up against tonight, and their biggest challenge is players on the pitch, and in particular Lionel Messi, not the sound coming from the stands as it's worked forward, but miscontrolled there by Świderski, and it's carried away now by Messi. Rides a challenge, flicks it through to Di Maria, who swivels, thinks about the shot. It's hit the back of Messi. May well have been offside by the time that ball struck him, and Poland will now have the free kick as they clear, and Lewandowski is brought down. Yeah,
again, it's looking lively for Argentina, though, isn't it? Messi started it, decent strike from Di Maria. Unfortunately, Messi's got in the way, so it's obviously not getting through to test Szczesny in the Polish goal. But liberal on scraps is Robert Lewandowski. He's going to just try and do what he can. Just got his body in the way of Romero's challenge there. I think his foot was taken before the ball, so probably a correct decision. But 9.5 minutes gone, and Poland aren't seeing too much of the ball in the early stages. Obviously at the moment they're staying above Argentina, so they are going through to the knockout stages. It's a risk though playing this sort of game against a side of the quality of Argentina.
Di Maria carrying the ball, he's seen lots of it down that right hand side. Argentina in their changed purple strip tonight as Messi drives into the box. Angle's not on, but he takes the shot. Saved at the near post by Szczesny. You felt that the shot, the shooting window had gone, but he still managed to dig it out.
Yeah, he's probably taken it a little bit too wide, hasn't he? But he's worked the keeper, he's forced the save. It's what you'd expect Szczesny to make. Corner's been taken short. All the pressure is the men in blue.
Yeah, Paul swings the ball in. Eventually, it's headed away by Poland, out for an Argentina throw on the far side of the pitch, taken quickly by Alvarez, finding Di Maria, who was shaping for the left-footed in-swinging cross. Does now send it in. It's over the head of McAllister, not deep enough to find Romero, and it will be brought back to the halfway line by Argentina and DePaul. And he started all three of their games so far. Out to the right-hand side of defence with Molina. And the four brought in by Lionel Scaloni for tonight's fixture. Shuffling the pack a little bit. I think he's still yet to really land on what his best 11 is. Working it out through this group stage and hope to have a better idea by the time they potentially reach the last 16. Of course, not yet confirmed for them as Di Maria comes in field again. This time leaves it for Messi, opens it up and works it into the feet of DePaul. Poland happy to sit deep with a low block and that's allowing Argentina the chance to move it across the edge of the box. Low cross in, won't find Messi. It's out for another throw on that far side, and Poland trying to keep that tight defensive unit almost within the width of their own box.
Yeah, I mean, it's asking for trouble though, isn't it? We've already seen shots at goal, not always the best one, but Messi looks as though he's at least up for this game as he keeps a hopeful ball down the channel in, but Poland will defend the sack the ball and clear downfield. One back though, says the referee, legally by Argentina. Lewandowski is struggling to hold it up at that end. I mean, obviously it's going to depend on the first goal and whether it comes. I don't think Poland are going to change their game plan. Probably, possibly not even if they concede, because the goal difference is in their favour over both Saudi Arabia and Mexico. And of course they've beaten Saudi Arabia on the head-to-head. So if that ends a draw, I think we just hope they don't get heavily beaten by Argentina. So I don't think it's going to change until maybe even the second Argentina goal goes in.
Yep. They will stick to their game plan. It's been drilled into them over the last couple of days to look to retain their place at least in the top two, if not at the top of the standings. Lewandowski is pulled out wide here to the right flank. Low cross in, comes off the legs of defender Acuna. Now attempted clearance from McAllister is not good. It'll come back to Poland. Lewandowski this time stopped by Romero and driven infield by McAllister into traffic though. Managed to get a pass out, and now they've got some space to play. And DePaul carrying away from the edge of his own box across to the right hand side. Heavy touch from Molina, looked as they may have fouled there as he tried to win it back, and the ball lost by Poland. Referee was looking for the advantage, nothing on. Will be a free kick. Back at the only real chance we've had on goal. Messi's had two shots on target, but one right-footed was easy for Szczesny. This one as well, to just he should save at his near post, but there was more power, a bit more venom behind it, as Poland have it on the halfway line and carried away by Zielinski. Scored in the 2-0 victory over Saudi Arabia. Besides Robert Lewandowski, who was a little bit emotional after scoring his first World Cup goal, missed a penalty in the game against Mexico, but managed to find the back of the net against Green Falcons last time out. Glick back to his goalkeeper Szczesny. 13.5 minutes gone. Poland 0, Argentina 0. Argentina going out the last 16 at the 2018 World Cup. Hugely disappointing for them. After that, they finished as runners-up in Brazil 2014. It's likely to be the final World Cup for Lionel Messi. They want to go far, the Copa America champions. They've laboured through the group stage, certainly haven't attracted too much attention in terms of potential outright winners, but if they get a bit of momentum on their side, they may well be able to cause problems and force their way through. Poland just can't keep this one in play. It's out for a goal kick, and the difficulty for Poland is going to be getting bodies up the pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've probably just had their best spell of the game. Admittedly, it didn't really lead to much, but their best spell at least stems the flow of pressure the other way. And I don't think they'll be in a rush to attack, that's for sure. They've surrendered possession, as we mentioned in the two previous games, so against a higher-ranked opponent. I don't think that game plan's going to change, but here's a break from Fernandes.
Rolled into the box, just a little bit too heavy there for the run of Alvarez. Nice idea. Szczesny had spotted that the Argentina attacker wasn't going to get there. It goes for the goal kick.
Yeah, disappointing in the end. It wasn't that hard a ball to play. It's just overcooked it and it's through beyond Alvarez's run. Szczesny didn't need to pick it up, just happened to let it go behind. And they can take their time over this goal kick. See how frustrated Argentina become, or see how quickly Argentina can be frustrated. Because obviously their need is greater than Poland's, but of course if things stay as they are, Argentina will still go through. So it's not really a problem at the moment. Goals will change that. I think the strength of probably options coming off the bench to change it lies with Argentina. They have been more enterprising on the two sides, but just that shot from a tight angle to show for their efforts so far. Nothing really to be worried about from the Polish viewpoint, other than the fact that Argentina have seen most of the ball.
So with Messi again, he switches a lovely ball into the box here, brought down, shot away and blazed over the bar by Acuna. They're knocking on the door, Argentina. They are looking for that opener.
Yeah, defender's finish maybe, because he's high over the bar. He's in space, as most of the winged players are. Poland has defended the central positions fairly stoutly in terms of numbers back there, so there's a chance to get a shot off. I mean, it's way over the bar. You'd expect a little bit more. And a test for Szczesny, not quite coming, but again, the options are there for the man in possession for the men in blue. Obviously, Messi is adept as anyone has finding those teammates in space. More encouragement for Argentina, but still no real test of Szczesny in goal.
Flick moves it across into midfield. Switch of play now from Poland out to the left-hand side, looking for the run of Berezinski. It looked as though it had gone there. Tried to bring it back into play and then ended up running it out for a goal kick anyway. So they will come back for the throw. And the way that it stands, if Argentina do go through in second, they'll be taking on France in the last 16. The expectation was they were going to be in the top half of the bracket and a potential meeting with South American rivals Brazil at some point, but they're dropping down into the bottom half of the bracket if they finish second, and that's a very tough game against the defending champions that will follow this one. But still work to be done, and they could still emerge as group winners. That would take them up into the top bracket and see them take on Australia next time out. Much easier fixture on paper, as Argentina have it out on the right-hand side with Molina finding Di Maria. All the signs suggest that Argentina have got this game in their hands tonight, as the low ball comes in from McAllister, or the Paul rather. It comes back out to him. He'll utter it away and see it off for a throw, which he takes quickly into Di Maria. Away from goal, waiting to see where the movement is, and then decides to roll it back to the Paul, who just dropped deeper off him. Di Maria remains in a pocket of space out on that right-hand side, finding Alvarez. Played off to Messi. No one really in the box for Argentina. That's why the crosses won't go in. Now there's a deep ball to Acuna, who heads down and can only find the hands of Szczesny.
Well, I mean, if he keeps shooting like this, then Poland will be happy for him to be in space, because that's a terrible header, really. I don't think he really wanted to go for goal. I'm not convinced. I mean, he's gone wide of the near post, but Szczesny stopped it going behind. But I think he was just trying to keep that alive, so he's got that all wrong. That's the second time in a few minutes that he's been in space down that channel. Poland don't seem too worried. But as I say, the two efforts he's had have been pretty awful, and they'll be quite happy if it's him that's having those chances. Anybody else, they might start to be concerned. But it wasn't on target either. So again, the worry is that Argentina are getting in and around the box too easily. That's the problem. Messi at some point is going to find a teammate, a better striking teammate, perhaps. Obviously, it's down to Argentina to do that.
He had to be the source of inspiration in the victory over Mexico. Messi. Mexico had sat deep and defended really well for the first 45 minutes, frustrated Argentina. A moment of magic from the Paris Saint-Germain man. The edge of the box, the control and drilled finish. Enzo Fernandez went and added a lovely second curling effort into the top right corner to give them a comfortable finish to the match. It's a free kick now for Poland out on the right-hand side. A couple over the top of it. It's not within shooting range, so this one is going to be whipped into the box. Runs have been made there by the Poland players, trying to forced the Argentina defenders back. They did do that, but it actually worked against them. They were nowhere near getting to the delivery into the box. Then it's out to the left-hand side. It'll get away from Berezinski and out for an Argentina throw. You suggested early set pieces could be the best route to goal here for Poland, but that's not great.
No, I mean, I think they're just trying to be too clever, weren't they? Because, you know, 2 or 3 players are offside, and of course it limits your options. I don't think you need to be clever with your first set piece chance. Get it in there and see what happens. They've got plenty of height, and they could test. I mean, Otamendi's not the tallest to start with. Who else is helping out Romero at the back? You know, it's difficult to work out where the advantage is in any shape or form, other than Romero, who's pretty decent in the air, but he's the only one, in my opinion. So just put it in the middle and see if you can get a chance. As Kesha trying to win a corner down the right. I don't think he has won a corner. So another set piece opportunity. I wouldn't be clever here. Get it in there and attack it.
Yeah, this is their chance just to get it into the box, and decent delivery. Good supply line is crucial. Maybe Zielinski to take it. Lewandowski is the prime candidate, says referee Danny Micheli comes in and has a word with some players, pushing and shoving. The Dutch official overseeing things tonight. In goes the ball, an out swinger headed away by Argentina. Ball's to Cash, back to Zielinski. Drops the shoulder, cuts in field, now digs out the delivery, flicked up, but not really anywhere by the Polish man. Glick into the hands of Martinez. Comfortable save.
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing delivery. I mean, the first delivery, it might have been the very first man at the near post, but it's Alvarez who's headed it clear, unchallenged really. I mean, that's not going to give them the opportunity to get it. You've got to get it a little bit deeper. I know it doesn't take much to get it wrong both ways, but I mean, if it's not going to beat the near post, then it's just disappointing in the end. They haven't seen much of the ball. They've had 2 set pieces now. Absolute waste. Argentina back attacking.
It's worked across midfield onto the left-hand side. Ball is a little bit loose though, and it's claimed by Poland, who work it forward to Lewandowski. Can't get there. Argentina will come again. McAllister out to Di Maria, who's popped up on the left momentarily. His cross comes out towards the edge of the box. There's a Poland man gone down, but the referee just says get back up. Game will continue with Argentina on the attack. De Paul turning away from goal. Has got support down the line, but decides to come through the middle instead. Messi exchanging passes with Fernandez, and across to the left now with Di Maria, who does often like to be on the right so he can cut in on that left foot of his, but now driving to the byline instead, and slow cross off the legs of Cash and out for an Argentina call.
I mean, if you're in wide positions for Argentina, you don't have many options, do you? It's got to be a pick out, maybe a run. So I think you've got to get the cross in a little bit early. Otherwise, there's going to be more bodies that you're going to have to try and negotiate. Obviously, Argentina have just taken this corner short. So I mean, the advantage is definitely with Poland set piece-wise, as a cross comes in from a different angle, headed away by Lewandowski back there. As I say, the only problem for Poland is just giving Argentina enough possession. They haven't really threatened. Acuna has got into the 2 decent positions for Argentina. He's a left back. He's the one that's had the 2 best opportunities, really. And so Poland are doing a decent job so far.
McAllister on the ball again for Argentina across the midfield to De Paul. Now the space on the right and a chance for Molina to pick out his cross, but decides that's not on and come back through the middle. Pocket pick there from Messi, and Poland should get themselves a free kick. They do, so at 0-0 midway through the first half. Chances few and far between, or clear-cut chances anyway. Both of these sides, as it stands, are heading through, but a long way to go tonight. To see how the rest of this first half plays out, it will be Rob.
Cheers, Bobby. Free kick to Poland. Paul got something of the ball, but he might have been in touch fortunate to do so. He was a little bit frustrated that the referee did give a free kick. But it's inside the Polish half, and Poland have gone back to Szczesny anyway. He's cleared hurriedly left-footed, and Argentina with the ball back on the halfway line. So a chance to restart for Argentina. As things stand, both of these sides are going through, but it would be Poland who have top spot on 5 points. Argentina better goal difference over Saudi Arabia to take second. At the moment, of course, Mexico propping up the group with just 2 points. But neither game has had a goal yet. You didn't know the 2 earlier games. Well, were both surprising results. Australia beat Denmark to progress. Tunisia beat France to register another shock in this tournament, but unfortunately wasn't enough. In which France and Australia have gone through as the top 2. Argentina favourites for this one. Been the better of the 2 sides, but Chesney hasn't been overly tested so far. Messi with a shot from inside the box, admittedly from a wide-ish angle, as Argentina continue to probe in and around the box. Plenty up there. Otamendi feeding it out to Di Maria, who's playing on the left the last 5 minutes or so. His cross is deflected up in the air and then cleared away by Poland. Bit of a chase for Lewandowski, and he's got there ahead of Romero, but can't again make it stick, and Argentina have it back with Cunha in the space once more. But Di Maria to his outside. This time Di Maria drives in towards the box. He's half tackled into Cunha offside. He's not challenging for the ball he thinks he is. He will actually then go and play it. Lost a bit of momentum there, but the flag hasn't gone up, so he wasted his own time. Mr. Paul lines up a shot, but then shows too much of it to Frankowski, and the break is on for Poland. Up to the halfway line, Frankowski tries to make a 1-2, but solid challenge from Otamendi. He's left Frankowski in a heap on the halfway line. No foul given. Otamendi is urging Argentina just to get on with it, but I think Poland have Argentina have stopped the play, so Polish player can get some treatment.
Yeah, I mean, it is a foul, I think. The ball not won by Otamendi cleanly. If he does get anything on it, it was played on to him rather than him actually taking it, so probably should be a free kick there. Didn't need to stop the game. No sort of head injury, it's an ankle problem. No treatment has subsequently been required either, so we are back underway.
Given straight back to Argentina. They had possession, still 0-0 in the game, into the 28th minute. Very few chances, none I don't think for Poland as yet. That's no surprise. Keeping their position at the top of the table. They avoid defeat, and I think they are through. They will be through if they avoid defeat. Argentina will be sweating on the other result. As things stand, that is currently 0-0 as well. Argentina break down the right hand side, pulled back to Alvarez. His shot is cleared, possibly going wide. Acuna has it, he goes for goal, and that's fizzed past the far post. A bit frenetic there in the end. Alvarez missed the best chance. As I said, I think it might have been going wide, but it just opened up.
Yeah, that reverse angle that hopefully we'll get will give us a better indication. Acuna's final effort, we know, was going wide and did go wide on the full, struck firmly across the target. Always difficult as that left footer from the left-hand side. You're always going to have it moving away from the target, and it does favour the keeper a little bit, so I can't blame him too much there. Went for power over precision. We yet to see the Alvarez one. It was a lovely cut back, and he'd found himself in a good little bit of space at the near post. Just tried to flick it away first time and aim for that far corner. Like you say, it might have been going wide. We're not entirely sure yet, but best passage of play I think we've seen from Argentina. Created some space and almost made Poland pay.
29 minutes ticks over. Romero wins a header. Admittedly, it's gone sideways and into touch. Poland throw. That's the tap though. It's got the Argentina fans excited, and they're trying to gee up the troops. Di Maria is trying to hurry up the throw in for Poland. Argentina probably want to win this game to avoid France. Made it to the last 16 where they were beaten by France 4 years ago. And although France were beaten today, it was a much changed side. No Mbappe for starters. Not starting the game anyway against Tunisia. So that would be the worry for Argentina. As things stand, go through in second. Poland, of course, as group winners, would then face Australia as the drums beat from an Argentina perspective. They are calling the tune in this game, but struggling. It was just ricochet. An attempted crossfield ball almost fell for Swiderski. Argentina were kind of looking at themselves there, and it bounced over Swiderski with Martinez in a little bit of no man's land.
Yeah, if he managed to get a connection, you're backing him to go and maybe score there. Goalkeeper well off his line, not able to react quick enough as long as the direction's right from Swiderski. He gambled, he got through, and he wasn't far off making a connection, just a bounce working against him in the end, and he'd already committed to where he thought the ball was going to arrive between goalkeeper and defender. But that's why Argentina have got to be careful. As much as they've dominated this early stage, half an hour gone, they've been controlling the tempo and the rhythm, dictating the game, created the lion's share of the chances. It's all been played in Poland's half of the field, but it's 0-0 and the game is still on a knife edge.
Di Maria back on the right hand side, cutting in on his left foot, finds Messi just on the edge of the D. He's well marked and it's fed out to Acuna, low ball in, blocked near post. Cash back there. Koviak tries to find Lewandowski. For a moment I thought it was going to be intercepted by Molina, but Lewandowski has it. He's got zero support though, and Cruyff turning away from Molina. He's dispossessed by De Paul, and Argentina have it back with the game entering the 32nd minute, still 0-0, which suits Poland more than Argentina, but as I've said, Argentina has the stand still going through. Trying to convert their superior possession to perhaps more clear-cut chances. Alvarez is popping up on the left wing now, trying to help out. Acuna, infield to Fernandez, over Paul, over to the right. Messi, and Di Maria outside it. He's ignoring him. Tries to work a 1-2 with De Paul. Return pass is poor though, and Poland are able to clear. It's one back though by Argentina, winning it back pretty quickly. Quite desperate to win it high up the pitch, so if Poland play better on the counter, there would be opportunities if they have more support. A ball from Di Maria, took a deflection, goes behind just the corner. Di Maria has been as involved as anyone in this game, more so in fact. Going across to take this right wing corner, so it's going to be an in-swinger from Di Maria. And it's just tipped over a bar. I'm not sure if he was definitely going for goal, but it was going under the crossbar, and Chesney has taken no chances at all.
He gets lots of whip on that, doesn't he? Aiming, it seems, for the far post, and Chesney had taken a step or two off his line, had to really abruptly sprint back. He puts a thumbs up and a smile across to Di Maria as he comes out on top in that battle, and it will keep him wary for the next few that come in, that he can't abandon his post so readily.
De Paul's going to take this one from the Argentina left. Another in-swinger. This one is towards the near post. Headed away though by Lewandowski back there. Obviously nobody downfield. It is just played by Swiderski all the way into the Argentina half. But Molina all alone there. No pressure. He's able to win it or regain possession for the men in blue. And Argentina start again. A little over under 12 minutes to go to the break. There'll be some stoppage time as well. There's that injury to Matty Cash. Swiderski, I think, got a little bit of treatment as well. So Argentina come forward again down the left-hand side, although Molina, all avenues shut off. Plays it safe back to the halfway line. So Argentina will switch flanks. Di Maria involved along with Molina, but again forced away from goal. Poland happy to get numbers behind the ball. Lewandowski is close to the halfway line now. He's been an extra midfielder at times. Nicely worked by Argentina. Edge of the box, fired in, and took a deflection off Kivior to put it behind. I think Alvarez was just pulling away to the far post, needed an intervention. Just a corner.
Yeah, they're doing enough, aren't they, I think, just to hang on, conceding chances here and there, but I think they'll be happy enough with how it's going.
Corner worked out, so a central position, going for the curler. Argentina can't keep it down. I think that's Fernandez with the final strike, but really lacked conviction that far out. He's trying to pick his spot, but it looked as though Chesney had it covered regardless. And it's over the bar, not by a million miles, but 10 minutes to go to the break. Still 0-0 as Chesney turns inside Di Maria from a short goal kick taken to him, and has to hurriedly clear downfield. It seems to be part and parcel of the game these days. Got to take a goal kick short.
Yeah, everyone wants to do it. I mean, they've got a target man up at the top. I don't know why you wouldn't try and use him.
Here's McAllister, plays it into the box to Alvarez, keeping the beat, tight angle. Szczesny makes the save, comes back to Alvarez, who lost it towards the far post. Szczesny doesn't get there. Messi heads over. He's gone down clutching his face. Maybe Szczesny punch in the air where the ball had been, connected with Messi's head, but Szczesny comes up big and then flaps at one.
Yeah, it did look as though there was a connection there. We'll see it again now. The initial effort from Alvarez times his run perfectly. Touch isn't bad. Left-footed shot across goal. Szczesny saves, then digs out the cross. Messi far post. He gets there with his head, and I think it's just a late hand that comes across the face there from Szczesny. I mean, I always find those ones a little bit strange. If that happens and outfield, a player heads the ball and someone comes across and catches them with the arm, they get a free kick for that. You're not going to get a penalty for it, though. Argentina are certainly asking that question. Messi was down on the floor. Didn't appear to be any apology from Messi. Players are still having a chat with referee Danny Mekele, who they are now looking at it. And like I said, if this happens anywhere else on the field, someone wins a header, the other player challenging, then catches him in the face with an arm, you're going to get a free kick for it. So I don't know why it would be different in a box. Messi wins the header and then gets slapped in the face by the goalkeeper. It's a late challenge, isn't it?
I'm not having a penalty for that.
It's a late challenge.
I'm not having a penalty.
If you challenge late with your feet, it's a free kick. If you challenge late with your hands, why is it any different?
Personally, I'm not having a penalty for that. I'm not saying the referee's not going to give it, because he's gone across to have a look. He's been advised. Argentina, of course, excited. I'm not having a penalty for that at all. If they give a penalty, I'd be furious if I was Poland.
Yeah, I mean,
he's flapped at the ball. He's missed it. Messi's then headed the ball wide. I mean, how does he think that's a penalty?
I just, in terms of the comparison, I don't know how it's any different to swinging to kick a ball, you miss it, you catch the player. That's a foul. Why do goalkeepers have it differently? Because they're swinging an arm. He's late, he's caught the man. The ball is gone. That's the only thing for me that maybe gets him out of this situation. Messi heads the ball. He's already missing the target with it. Referee's had a look. He's made the decision. It's going to be a penalty.
He's given a penalty. I'm not having that as a penalty. It is a penalty. I mean, it's, you know, football's definitely a non-contact sport. Don't let anybody tell you any different. I mean, the reaction of Messi is, I don't think, good for the game either. There is contact, but the rolling around is not unnecessary. It is a penalty, though, and this could shake things up. Of course, if Argentina win, they would, of course, go above Poland and top the group, avoid France, take on Australia. Poland would be sweating on the other result. Messi doesn't need treatment, incidentally, despite suggesting otherwise. Messi from the spot to beat Szczesny. He's not exactly got a perfect record from the penalty spot. Up he steps on, it's been denied. It's been denied. He went for power. Szczesny's made the dive to his left, parried it away, and it remains 0-0.
I suppose some would say justice has been done there. It's a fine save from Wojciech Szczesny. As you say, he's gone for power. It's heading towards the side netting, the corner of the goal. It's not a bad spot kick from Messi. Szczesny gambled and makes the save.
Corner in towards the near post, and it's cleared away. Argentina won another penalty, but it's not coming, and they will regain possession on the halfway line. That's an ambitional slice clearance, though, from Poland. There's a chance there for Berezinski to get it away more positively from danger. He didn't, and Argentina have it with Alvarez left wing. He's stopped by Cash and is forced to play it back to Otamendi on the halfway line. Obviously, that'll be big talking point should Argentina not top the group or of course go out of the tournament. Missing a penalty as Messi picks out Acuna, far post. This attempted cross, well, it's behind Alvarez, too far ahead of McAllister, and Poland clear, but Poland definitely hanging on. Lovely feat for Acuna to get inside his man, his edge of the box. Terrible ball. I don't know who he was trying to pick out, Di Maria or Messi, and it's cleared away up to the halfway line by Poland. Swiderski is trying to hold off defenders. He's left himself in a heap after what whatever contact there was there. As now it's with Di Maria, cross to the far post, brought down by Alvarez, only just inside the area, left edge. Now Messi, tightish angle, he's going around the outside, fires it across far post, and nobody gambled. Di Maria was slow. Poland were just hoping that there wasn't going to be a blue shirt on the end of it. It's gone all the way through, and it will just be a throw-in, I think, to Poland.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Berezinski was doing. I think he was the man at the far post. He just seemed to open his legs and let it go through, almost thinking he was going to fool the player that was behind him, expecting no one would challenge for it. And it proved right in the end. It was a ball that flew across the far side of the pitch. As we look back, that penalty save from Wojciech Szczesny, it probably wasn't actually quite as far in the corner as I thought it was initially, but it's still a powerful shot. He's got to get across quickly, Szczesny, and he makes a good firm save.
Argentina quickly back on the front foot. I mean, I say this because Poland have got everybody behind the ball at the moment. It's with Messi, deep position this time. He's beaten two, not the third though. He's hacked away by Kukoviak up towards the halfway line, but I think even Lewandowski's given up chasing those ones. He's outnumbered. Not great balls to him, essentially just clearances ball into the box. Messi, right edge, fakes to go around the outside, then does so, but half tackle, balloons up in the air. Szczesny takes the ball, and Poland survive yet again. 3.5 minutes till, well, the completion of 45. Might have been some added time. Of course, there's been a VAR check as well as whatever injuries have come forward in the opening half so far. And well, Poland are living dangerously, to say the least. Szczesny's made some saves now, including the penalty. He's made others. I do think it's a risky game that Poland are playing.
It really is, just sitting back and soaking up this pressure. I mean, if they're getting at half-time still at 0-0, they'll feel, yeah, job well done. We've got to go out and do it all over again. But that's been the issue that we've seen from sides in this tournament that want to play this sort of way. Into the second half, it becomes tough against a team that's so relentless.
Alvarez goes for the curler, and it's parried away by Szczesny into the chest of DePaul. It's come back to him. He got a little bit lucky. He might have seen that late, Szczesny, but I mean, the shot lacked a little bit of conviction. He hit the target. I don't know where Szczesny trying to punch that too. Obviously, DePaul wasn't expecting it. Hit his chest, and then became a lot more comfortable for the former Arsenal man between the sticks. There's another semi-let-off for Poland. They've offered very little threat in this game so far. Berezinski wins a throw-in just inside Argentine territory. Not too nervous faces from an Argentina viewpoint in the crowd. I imagine there's a fair more from the Poland missed penalty chances, but obviously Argentina having all the possession. Di Maria down the right, early ball in towards the far post. It's hooked away by Cash, only as far as DePaul, and now it's with Di Maria again. He's been pretty influential for Argentina so far. He's gone for goal from a tightish angle. That was a little bit greedy. I think it was half charged down. Szczesny makes the save, and it's another opportunity gone begging.
Yeah, just that nick through takes the pace off the ball, makes it comfortable enough for Wojciech Szczesny. Looking for a third successive clean sheet. Only Brazil and Morocco, the other sides, yet to concede a goal in the competition. They've both played twice this Poland's third game. Obviously need a good solid defensive line to go deep in any competition, don't you? And would hope that you've got goals at the other end, which Poland showed they did against Saudi Arabia. But as you mentioned, there's just been nothing attacking from them today, no intent whatsoever. Maybe that's down to circumstance more than anything else, but at the moment they're hanging on in there.
Yeah, Argentina have possession again on the halfway line. Just need to see what the possession stats are for this game. Poland haven't had much of it in the tournament, but they still top the group as things stand. Obviously half-time approaching into the final few seconds of the opening 45. We'll find out how much stoppage time is going to be added on. But Messi has it, 25 yards out, floats it towards the far post. Cash heads clear. Not a great header, it's an even worse one from Berezinski. He's gone back into the danger area. Kukoviak heads it away from danger, but he's only found Alina right wing. Now to DePaul, a little bit of space is Fernandez. He's just dropped off to try and instigate something. Early ball in from the right hand side, looking for Acuna again. It asked a bit too much of him this time. He was probably behind for a goal kick before Acuna got there, and it will simply be a goal kick.
Yeah, they're happy to throw the bodies forward, aren't they? We've seen the full-backs from both sides of Argentina getting into those high wing areas, allowing the likes of Di Maria and Alvarez to drop more centrally and go and find themselves positions within the width of the box. I think they know with just Lewandowski, the only player forward for Poland, that they can leave it to Romero and Otamendi to deal with him on their own. They don't need that extra cover time and time again.
3 minutes of stoppage time, we're into that, so a little over 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Szczesny clears downfield, flicked on by Lewandowski. There's nobody ahead of him, not when he made the header though. Belated runs from Swiderski and Frankowski. They were never going to win the flick on. It's almost as if Lewandowski was just trying to get it away from danger. He certainly did get a shout from a teammate. Acuna's in space again, down the left for Argentina. Infield to Otamendi, back out to Acuna. McAllister has it for Argentina in a more central position. Fernandez over to Molina. Messi picking up on the right wing, starting to build up some pace. Beats one, not the second though, it's taken from him. But Lewandowski was helping dispossess Messi there. So that would indicate there are a few options downfield. Yet again for Poland. Scaloni, not sure worried would be how I'd describe his look there. He certainly can't complain that his side hasn't had the possession. Perhaps haven't been quite as creative as they could have been, but in fairness to them, they're often trying to break down 10 players, and we know that's never easy.
Yeah. I think he'll be happy enough. Yes, he'll feel there's room for improvement. Like you say, could have created one or two more clear-cut chances maybe, but there've been wave after wave of attack on the front foot, moving the ball quickly, not taking 3, 4, 5 touches every time. They're trying to get it into those spaces and try and move Poland about. They've just found it difficult. I think the longer the game goes on, maybe there's more chance that they'll be able to create those clear openings. Just seen Poland, the head coach, having a word with a couple of substitutes. Wonder if he's considering some changes at the break, maybe just to give them a little bit more cover in certain areas. I'd be shocked if he went any more attacking. They've managed to hold on for one half and just have 45 minutes to see it through.
Had a free kick which was launched straight into the box, and Martinez gathered it under no pressure whatsoever. Poland just won half-time, it would appear. There's still a few seconds left, and Argentina on the attack down the right-hand side with Molina. Back to Messi, 30 yards out, right channel, coming inside Krychowiak. He's left Krychowiak, trying to work a 1-2 McAllister. The return pass didn't come, bringing it clear. Poland with Swiderski back there, but that is the half-time whistle. Poland have hung on to a degree. Szczesny's been a key player for them so far. Lionel Messi's missed the penalty. Poland top the group as things stand, 0-0.
half-time, it is Poland 0, Argentina 0. It's been all Argentina as they go chasing the victory in this one. Poland not needing 3 points as desperately as maybe Argentina do. Best chance was a penalty. Wojciech Szczesny judged to have caught Lionel Messi in the face. Messi stood up to take the spot kick, but saw it saved by the former Arsenal goalkeeper. Other chances falling to Di Maria and Julian Alvarez, but they've just been unable to convert. It's 0-0. At half-time, it is Poland 0, Argentina 0. It's been all Argentina as they go chasing the victory in this one. Poland not needing 3 points as desperately as maybe Argentina do. Best chance was a penalty. Wojciech Szczesny judged to have caught Lionel Messi in the face. Messi stood up to take the spot kick, but saw it saved by the former Arsenal goalkeeper. Other chances falling to Di Maria and Julian Alvarez, but they've just been unable to convert. It's 0-0. At half-time, it is Poland 0, Argentina 0. It's been all Argentina as they go chasing the victory in this one. Poland not needing 3 points as desperately as maybe Argentina do. Best chance was a penalty. Wojciech Szczesny judged to have caught Lionel Messi in the face. Messi. Welcome back for second half coverage of this Group C game at the World Cup. It's Poland 0, Argentina 0. False start for the second period. Argentina are going to have to retake their kick-off, and they do. Lionel Messi rolling the ball back into midfield. We've seen a double change here for Poland as we restart for the second half. Going off are Swiderski and Frankowski. Coming on in their place are Kaminski and Skoras. So it's two midfielders on, two midfielders off, but they are more defensive-minded, the midfielders that have come on in their place. So certainly a signal of intent there from Poland as we get going for this second half. I mean, they were pretty defensive in the first half, but clearly feeling that there were gaps there that Argentina were still finding, and now looking to further plug them if possible in the second period. Poland knowing that avoiding defeat is enough for them to reach the last 16. Argentina likewise could also go through as things stand, as long as the result in the other game doesn't change, but they've got an opener. They're ahead. It's Alexis McAllister with his first ever World Cup goal. It's just a swiped effort to the far post. Wasn't struck cleanly, but it nicks in off the post almost in slow motion. Ball in from the right, met by McAllister. Poland 0, Argentina 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's a goal that could really shake up this game, and they've just made changes. We don't do the particularly attacking ones, Poland, and now they've got to chase the game, or at least hope that there isn't a winner in the other game. But I mean, you'd have to say Argentina deserved it. They're the side that wants to score, wants to win. Looks as though he's onside. I don't think this is going to be a problem. Molina, he's not quite hit as sweetly as he'd have liked, but I mean, he's free just inside the box. And the kind of miss hit has just helped take it further away. He might have even just glanced it onto his standing leg. Yeah. Either way, it's not a clinical finish, but it's in the back of the net. Argentina, as I say, have done all the pressing, they've asked all the questions. Poland have been happy to stick 10 men behind the ball. What's the Polish game plan now? I'm not sure, we'll see. But that could really shake this game up. Better for the neutral, because you just wonder if Poland are going to try and attack, because they didn't do that in the first half. Not a clean strike, but it could be a match-winning strike. Yeah, so it means that Argentina go to the top of the standings in Group C. It'll be 2 wins from their 3 games, if, of course, they go on to win this match, leading now through that Alexis McAllister goal, 6 points to their name. They're going up ahead of Poland, who still remain second. I say remain, who dropped down to second, but still remain on course for a last 16 spot. Though as it stands, instead of facing Australia, they'll now be taking on France for a place in the quarter-finals. As long as the result elsewhere doesn't change, Argentina and Poland will remain in these positions, first and second. Saudi Arabia and Mexico are currently playing out a goalless draw. A few more twists and turns, I'm sure, before we get to the full-time whistle. Some subdued looks on the faces of the Poland fans who endured a barrage of Argentina attacks in the opening 45 minutes, and now early in this second period seen their side fall behind. They are coming forwards though. Already we're seeing a slightly more attack-minded Poland, as a yellow card's going to come out here, I think, for Acuna. Caught the substitute Kaminski there as he was trying to flick it round the corner, and Acuna is the first to have his name taken. Yeah, I mean, he's got there a little bit late, little nutmeg as well, and it's a free kick. We talked about the advantage that Poland might have from set pieces. We didn't really see it in the first half. A silly challenge, really, from Acuna, because obviously Poland haven't exactly gone super offensive and loads of options in the box. So take a little bit of a chance, and we'll see what Poland can threaten here. The referee again is just making sure the jostling is above board.
Goes the free kick, and it's just wide from the head of Kamil Glik. Rosewell made a good connection, just couldn't get his angles right.
Yeah, I mean, he's done well to get there in the sense that he's only just wide of the post. I mean, we looked at a different angle, but I mean, we talked about it. They're bigger in the air. Get it into the box, give them a chance, and they've just gone close. That's possibly as close as they're going to come all game if you just base it on the possession and chances that are being created, and that's a pretty decent opportunity, but just shaved the upright the wrong side. Martinez doesn't know it's going wide of the post. Could have easily been in the back of the net, and they've just got to be a little bit more adventurous, help out Lewandowski, get those set pieces. This is a challenge on Molina that wins a free kick for Argentina halfway inside the own half. Argentina fans are bouncing, and there's doesn't appear to be much segregation. There's a few Polish fans amongst some Argentinian fans there. There's a real contrast with who's enjoying the game right now.
Yeah, you can see where those little breaks in the bands are. It's the Poland fans that have unfortunately bought their tickets amongst the South Americans, and any other day you may well enjoy the atmosphere, but not the way the game is going, albeit Poland still going through. But dropping down to second place and getting a tougher tie in the last 16. Here at Argentina on the ball. They sense blood maybe, and it's a chance for them to go and grab a second and really stake their claim as the leaders in this game and the leaders of the group. It's Messi driving infield, rides the challenge there of Krychowiak, comes out to the right-hand side with Di Maria, who's come back to this flank for the start of the second half. He flipped to the left-hand side midway through the first half as McAllister puts the ball into touch for a throw, and it's his first goal he's ever scored for Argentina as well. What a time to pop up with that in his 10th appearance for his national side. Still just 23 years of age, the Brighton man. And getting himself on the score sheet. There has been a goal elsewhere. Mexico have broken the deadlock against Saudi Arabia. Scoring the goal there is Henry Martin. In terms of the group, it means that Poland do still stay second. Mexico are now into third place on level points with Poland, just on goal difference keeping them apart. Of course, they played out a goalless draw, did Mexico and Poland, so the head-to-head is identical between those two. It's now a case of goal difference, really. They're on -1 are Mexico. Poland are on +1. So there is a little bit of wiggle room there. Needs to be a big win from Mexico if they're going to stand a chance, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, the problem for Poland, they're probably caught between a rock and a hard place, aren't they? Do we go after Argentina and leave ourselves a chance of being exploited at the back? I mean, most of the chances have gone the way of Argentina. Or do we sit back and try and defend? If they lose 1-0, then it's not necessarily a problem. Mexico have hardly been full of goals. Poland are being a little bit more adventurous on this particular attack, although Cash wasn't Cash actually, I think it was the substitute scorers. Shooting from a wide-ish angle, took a deflection, was cleared by Argentina. So it's difficult to work out how it's going to play out. Are Poland going to be more adventurous? Maybe Argentina will just sit back on 1-0, who knows? If they win, of course they will go above Poland regardless, so they don't need to win by millions. Here is Lionel Messi though, breaking from his own half. He's into the box, he's still shooting. No, he's sliced it horribly wide, and that has gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I spoke about if Mexico win big, not necessarily that needs to happen. It might even be that Argentina just score a couple more goals here, and that brings it all level. In terms of how it works, initially on points, then comes down to goal difference. They would be level potentially on that if the scores do change. Then it goes down to number of goals scored in all group matches. So that comes before the head-to-head. So we'll get into all those permutations as and when it counts. As Messi has been played through here, might well have been offside. The flag has stayed down for now, and he's been dispossessed into the box anyway. But Di Maria wins it back. That flag has stayed down. The play will continue. Di Maria looking for options. He's found himself crowded out, leaves it for De Paul. He will come away from goal and prod it back off to Di Maria, who returns it to De Paul, and Argentina retreat from goal momentarily into midfield, and it's helped on by Otamendi through to the goal scorer and hero of the night so far, Alexis McAllister. De Paul back down the line and where they started with Di Maria, finding Messi. First time ball off to De Paul, and they're just simply stroking it around. Poland can't get close enough to even attempt to challenge at the moment. Never mind a sniff of the ball as it comes back again through into Fernandez and dropped off to Otamendi. With a goal to their name now, Argentina know it doesn't matter what happens elsewhere as long as they win this one. They're heading through and will be going through as group winners as it stands, with Mexico leading elsewhere. It's back into a defensive area, 55 minutes on the clock. The tempo has completely dropped off.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's about the urgency from Argentina. If Saudi Arabia had taken the lead, not that Argentina probably care right now, they're in the middle of a game, of course. The coach might be keeping up to speed. The players won't necessarily do as Di Maria cuts into the right, poor cross from him, though, and it's cleared away. Messi does really well on the edge of the box, but he just crowded out in the end. But because it's Mexico that are leading, then essentially Argentina can't be overtaken by Mexico to top the group. So if they just keep Poland at bay, they might settle for 1-0. Who knows how it's going to pan out. Argentina, will they be in that sort of forgiving mood? It's difficult to know how they're going to play it. Obviously, if Argentina just take the chances out of the game by playing out of 1-0, that will suit Poland. In a sense, they won't go through as group winners, but they'll still go through. So unless Mexico get a second, potentially third, then I can't really see Poland changing their game plan. Saudi Arabia with a big danger. There's actually a second goal for Mexico, as we've said that. So things are just getting interesting.
Yeah, it really is, and what a goal it is. A long-range effort as Argentina have a chance. The shot blocked there as it was drilled towards the target by Alvarez. As it stands then, a goal for Mexico or a goal for Argentina means that Mexico will go up ahead of Poland on goal difference. As we see it come out to the right-hand side now for the Argentines. Back into Di Maria. Messi looking to drive into the box, flicks it on to Di Maria. Looked to return the ball, didn't quite come, but he's kept a hold of it. Lays it off now to De Paul. A couple of Argentina players in the box, but they're not looking to try and find any at the moment. Still happy to play this patient game. Di Maria lays it back into De Paul, and they'll come away from goal once more. And Poland with everyone back behind the ball as we see it into their own half now, and across to Otamendi, who's given time to step forward with a bit of space on the left-hand side for Alvarez to work it on forward. Cut back into a defender in the shape of Acuna. He picked up a yellow card earlier on. Sweeps it across to the right-hand side with De Paul and through to Molina and Messi. Looking at the group standings then, Poland on +1 goals on 4 points. Mexico a level goal difference of 0 on 4 points as well, as we see Poland have it now and coming over the halfway line. You wonder if there's going to be a moment where they'll pass that message onto the pitch to the Polish players.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to if Mexico get a third. As things stand, protecting a 1-goal defeat might be better than trying to score. Obviously, there's still over half an hour to go, 33 minutes or so, plus stoppage time. It's possibly a little bit early to go gung-ho. Argentina, I think because they've got that goal, they're not necessarily desperate to get it in the box. Obviously, they were shooting from silly angles at times in that first stop, but they're in front now. As Mexico have got a third offside given though, so that will still be Poland who are advancing at the moment. But I just think you've got to take matters into your own hands. If Poland get an equaliser, not that they look like they're going to do it, but if they get an equaliser, then that changes the whole game plan and it'll be up to Argentina again. So they just haven't been aggressive enough, but 1-0 might actually do them a favour. Argentina are actually going to make a change, double change in fact, and I think this is defensive because Di Maria is going off.
Yeah, it's going to be Leandro Paredes to come on in his place. We're also going to see Nicolas Tagliafico come on He's going to replace Acuna, who was booked, so maybe not too much of a surprise there. That's like for like at left back. Interestingly, in terms of the criteria for how the tiebreaker works, starts on points. Obviously, Mexico and Poland currently on level points. Then goes to goal difference. So they would be level if either Argentina score one more or Mexico score one more. But interestingly, then it comes down to points obtained, number of goals scored in the group matches. So if Argentina score, both Poland and Mexico would both have scored 2 goals, but they'll be level on goal difference, which means it comes down to fair play. And it would be Poland who go through potentially on fair play, because Mexico are the second most booked side in the competition so far.
Well, yeah, unless it goes horribly wrong for Poland in the next 30 minutes, and get 8 bookings. But
I mean, what a way to go out.
Yeah, I mean, Mexico, of course, might score a third, so that will change things in Mexico's favour in terms of goals scored. But I have to say, obviously the changes are a little bit negative in the sense that Di Maria is a forward and he's not being replaced by one. I can understand Tagliafico. I think Argentina are more worried about winning as opposed to winning by 2 or 3, but you just never know what Messi might do. Alvarez might, I mean, he's making runs, but he's not really been found in the box. There's probably more likely to be a goal Mexico, Saudi Arabia than Poland, Argentina right now over the last 5-10 minutes. I think Argentina are happy to be in front.
Looking back at the goal of this game as well, and it is one of those that if he hits it sweetly and accurately, maybe it is saved, but it just comes off that standing leg, and emotion on the face of Lionel Scaloni, the Argentina boss, as he celebrated that goal. Here comes the goal scorer McAllister forwards, finding Messi, switches the play, the space on that left-hand side for Tagliafico. Into the box it goes, falls to McAllister, the shot saved. This one he did hit cleanly, and Chesney was behind it.
Yeah, unfortunately for Argentina, he's only hitting straight at the keeper. He hasn't quite picked a spot. He could have easily gone back towards the far post, but it's his weaker left, swing through it, hope for a contact. Again, I don't think it's the sweetest he's ever struck a ball. As I say, he didn't pick a spot there, so that's a bit of a let-off for Poland, because it's a pretty good chance, 12-13 yards out or so. Fairly central position there. That could have easily been a second goal. Chesney, though, was doing all he can. He hasn't really put a foot wrong, I suppose, apart from conceding the penalty. But that is the danger with Argentina. They've obviously got good attacking players, and again, it's risky. If you don't quite mark the runners, they might fashion something. So it's a warning sign for Poland as they make a change.
Yeah, it's going to be the number 6, Christian Bielik, to go off, the man who plays his football with Birmingham City. Coming on in his place, it's AEK Athens midfield, Damian Samansky. And that is the 3rd change made by Poland in this match. They made that double alteration at half-time, making 1 further now. So still 2 remaining to try and influence the shape of the game, and notable that they haven't maybe turned to someone like Arkadiusz Milik just yet, a striker, man who plays his football at Juventus, and feel that it's that point where they need to go chasing the game at 1-0 down. Might be something they look to rue. Of course, if Mexico go and score, then Poland really are in a pretty desperate situation, having to go and score tonight. You don't want to leave it too late to have to do that. On the flip side, you don't want to go and open yourself up and commit bodies to attack and concede that second goal. It is a balancing act at the moment for Poland. Enough is happening for them right now to see them go through second, as Argentina working across their defensive line into Otamendi. Threads it into midfield, laid off first time by McAllister, candidate for man of the match, not just for his goal tonight, but seen lots of the ball in that midfield and has dictated play really well. Throw here won by Poland as it was given away by Nicolas Tagliafico. Poland not in a great rush to get it back in play. Matty Cash has got the ball in hand, steals a couple of yards. He's actually been told to retreat back by the referee, and he does now send the throw down the line towards the substitute Skoras. It's been missed here and falls to Messi now. Mistake from Poland, looking to drive into the box, angles tight, and the shot blocked away for the corner.
Yeah, he's kind of running into a cul-de-sac there, isn't he, Messi? But that's exactly what you don't want to do from a Polish viewpoint. Just give it away to Messi, trying to commit volleys downfield. I think he kind of followed the run of McAllister as well. I thought McAllister got a little bit of the block as well. But it is just the corner. It's an 8th corner for Argentina. They haven't really threatened from one so far, so it's you think it's not really a problem, but it just tells you the way that the game's been going. 8 corners for Argentina, 1 for Poland. There's essentially been one team trying to win this game, and no surprise they're winning it.
Oh, it's been worked short from this corner, back towards the midpoint of the Poland half. Across to Paredes, to his left-hand side now, where Fernandez has possession, comes back through to Paredes, and really decided not to utilise this set piece as they could well have done. Instead, everyone who'd gone forward from defensive areas has since retreated, and Argentina are back just into open passages of play as it comes out to the right-hand side with Molina and with Paredes seeing lots of the ball in that central midfield area. He's just sitting deep in front of the defence, providing that extra buffer. Boss Scaloni keen to see that his side have got extra protection for this remaining stage of the game. We're 65 minutes in, Poland 0, Argentina 1, independent off-tube studio commentary. Down the line they go to McAllister, tries to get around Glick, but it's the defender who comes out on top, out for a throw. Argentina will stay on the front foot, but still have work to do to try and find a way through. If Scalini will look to freshen things up further in these next 5 or 10 minutes, just to further strengthen them as come away from goal back to the halfway line towards Romero, the Tottenham defender, across to Otamendi, to Romero, and they're happy to have it in these areas. Poland not pressing, no urgency when Argentina look to play it around their defensive line. Lewandowski the furthest forward, but just trotting side to side, and every time Argentina want to play that ball into midfield, they're able to do so. There's plenty of space there, often for McAllister, who's worked it out wide to Tagliafico. He's fouled, free kick taken quickly, back through to Romero, and now this time with Fernandez. Scored in the last game. He's not really had much of a sight at goal, playing a little bit deeper today, I think, than he did against Mexico when he came off the bench, and they were looking to press on to get the 3 points. Out to the left-hand side now with Tagliafico, who hasn't really attacked as much as Acuna did in the first half. He's happy to sit a little bit deeper in the Poland half and just stitch things together. Out with Molina on the right, back through De Paul, and Messi was caught there. He's skipped over the challenge, keeps his balance, helps it on down the line to Molina. Alvarez is in the box, as is McAllister. Instead it's cut back to De Paul, back wide for Molina. There are other purple-shirted Argentina players now forward. Paredes finding McAllister again, and out to De Paul. He's making runs up ahead of him, but they're always really reluctant to swing that cross in. Happy to recycle time and time again, not play that overly ambitious ball. Now it goes into the box, and Alvarez with the shot. It's a second for Argentina. Surely they're in the driving seat now to top this group.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of pressure, isn't it? They haven't been desperate to get the ball into their box. It's a very patient approach. They probably know they're not going to win the first header if it's just a cross. And they've just probed and probed and probed. And Alvarez has got the goal. The run obviously needs to come. He's got inside the fullback. They haven't stopped those runs from wide positions into the box. And you have to say it's got to be deserved because they're the only side attacking. It's been a really negative performance from Poland. Understandable perhaps, but it's been really negative, and I don't think they're going to have any complaints. I think they've been lucky in a sense that they got the better of Saudi Arabia at the weekend, because they were outplayed by Saudi Arabia as well. Possession, stats, and they've just kind of put 10 men behind the ball and hope for the best. The best hasn't come, and now they're going to have to try and change it in the last 20 odd minutes. It's been really negative for me, and they've got what's coming to them.
Yeah, they've sat back, they've hoped for the best, and inevitably Argentina, as they did against Mexico, have just found the spaces in the second half to go and do what they need to do. As far as I can make out from the tie-breaking criteria. It's Mexico who are heading through at this point. Shot in from Alvarez was so nice to get Argentina 2-0 ahead. And as it stands, when you look at the group table now, Poland, they're on the same goal difference. Oh yeah, it's Poland, sorry, who are still going through. Mexico will miss out, sorry, due to the fact that they've got the worse fair play record. So Poland just about doing enough still, but they're relying on the result elsewhere to remain the same as Argentina have it. And we are midway through this second half. No doubt we're going to have more working out to do before full time, Rob, and I'll hand that over to you now.
Argentina on the attack with Lionel Messi halfway inside the Poland half. A little bit of support from Fernandez. Again, though, Poland are more concerned about defending. Again, I suppose you'd argue it's understandable they're going through as things stand due to having picked up fewer yellow cards, which is a strange way to go through, potentially. An unusual way of going through, but there's still quarter of the game left and Argentina are boss in possession as it switched from right to left. Tagliafico back inside to McAllister, passes backwards to Paredes. Certainly Argentina are controlling this game. I'm not convinced that you'd necessarily be frightened of them as potential last 16 opponent. Obviously Australia beat Denmark today. I don't think they'd necessarily fear Argentina, but obviously you'd be wary that they've got Lionel Messi in the side. I certainly think Mexico wouldn't fear them either. That's obviously for the future. Going to finish out this game. Argentina happy in possession. Messi's back in his own half at the moment with the ball. Switches play to Tagliafico. There is a player ahead of him. They don't really shut that left wing door. And it's with Fernandez who's driving towards the byline. He's pulled it back. Messi with a shot. Oh. Saved by the legs of Szczesny. Again, I don't think it's a clean strike, and on his stronger left foot, that'd be disappointing from the Messi viewpoint. Good chance, though.
Yeah, big chance, wasn't it? They're just not able to keep Argentina at bay time and time again now. When they just move those passes really quickly, they find space in behind. Lovely cut back, and if there's one man you don't want to allow to drift into a bit of space inside the box, it's Lionel Messi. Hits it first time and gets it on target. Szczesny, he's done barely anything wrong today. Made that fine penalty save in the first half and just had to readjust here to save it with his legs. Kind of dived a little bit too early there to his left-hand side and eventually was able to deny Messi, but it finds itself turned away from goal and Poland hang on.
Yeah, so it remains Poland 0, Argentina 2, Saudi Arabia 0, Mexico 2 in the other game. So Argentina going through as group winners and Poland are through due to a better fair play record, but obviously further goals elsewhere will change that. Poland might nick one, and of course it's very much back in their favour as Poland are going to make a change. Berezinski is coming off. It looks like it's going to be a like for like replacement, because coming on in his place is the man who's wearing number 3. So you'd think he likes playing left full back, Jed Dreziek, and I have to admit I probably pronounced that wrong, so apologies. But you might not see a lot of the ball because Holland are offering no desire to win the ball back. They're happy at 2-0. It's kind of let's hope Mexico don't score a third or Argentina score a third. They're not trying to score one themselves, as it's with Messi on the halfway line. He's allowed to turn, plays it forward. Alvarez has got him behind, one-on-one with the keeper. He's into the tight netting. For a moment I thought it was postage stamp. He's gone near post. That was probably a mistake. The net ripple, but it's hit the wrong. It's gone past the wrong side of the upright. It remains Poland 0, Argentina 2. He's definitely onside, and that's a chance gone begging.
I mean, how much space there? They do, as we've said. Poland probably have to show a little bit more going forwards and play higher up the pitch, but then that gives the space for Argentina to play balls in behind, and he just needs to get that one across goal. I think Alvarez, he's trying to be smart and smashed it into that top right corner, the postage stamp near post. It's a tight angle, it's a difficult technique, and it ripples into the side netting.
He's on his stronger right though, got to hit the target surely. As Argentina a little bit unlucky there, creating the opportunity. They have certainly been the better of the two sides, absolutely no doubt about it. Might have been 3 or 4 nil up, given some of the chances they've missed. Obviously Szczesny made that save to deny Messi, the penalty as well, and other opportunities. Poland are hanging on, no doubt about it, as this one is angled towards the edge of the box by Poland, headed clear by Molina. Taking a little bit of a chance was Fernandez, but he's got enough on his header to get it back to Martinez, who is certainly playing for time. I think Argentina are happy to be 2-0 up and make Poland do all the chasing if the opportunity arises. And then we'll try and get a third goal, but not desperate to do so. Why would they be leading 2-0? Time running out. So Poland hoping that Saudi Arabia can turn the other game around. In a sense, maybe score a goal, not necessarily win it. Obviously, if Saudi Arabia do come from 2-0 down, that's going to be a problem for Poland. Argentina, though, controlling the game that we're focused on. And I mentioned it, they wouldn't necessarily strike fear into potential knockout opponents, but with their head and shoulders above Poland, are you worried about Argentina from an opposing team viewpoint?
Do you know, I think they've quietly gone about the business. They were highlighted in the first game for losing against Saudi Arabia, but their performance has been consistent throughout, I think, apart from the second half against Saudi Arabia. They control possession really well, but a lot of that is down to the fact that teams sit back and off them. I'd be interested to see a game where someone comes out from the outset and presses up in their faces and gets at them, is aggressive, as Saudi Arabia were in the second half. That's when they looked poor, when they struggled, when they made mistakes, possession was lost and they were forced onto the back foot. No one else has done that. Mexico sat back from the start against them, defended well first half, 0-0 at the break, then conceded 2 second half. Poland have done exactly the same. They've sat off, they've shown them too much respect. So it's difficult to know. I think if anyone's brave enough to go toe-to-toe with Argentina, yes, they might come out on top. But you're also then leaving yourself vulnerable to what Argentina do have in that final third. I think there's definite vulnerabilities in their defence, in the midfield, but it's that front line, Messi in particular, Alvarez getting goals, Di Maria looking dangerous.
There's Argentina on the attack again with McAllister coming infield from the wide position. The ball looked as though it was lining up a shot, instead tries to work with 1-2. It's hooked away by Kivior downfield. Romero under pressure from Lewandowski. He's allowed the ball to bounce. That's allowed Skoras to nip in, looking for some support. In fact, it's Kaminski feet it towards Lewandowski. The pass was slightly under hit. Lewandowski was waiting for it, and in stepped Paredes to win it back. Now Argentina go back on the front foot into the Polish half with Fernandez. 13 minutes to go, plus stoppage time, of course. These two sides heading to the knockout stages as things stand. Argentina's group winners would take on Australia, and Poland would have to try and stop France. Australia earlier on, their game against perceived better team. I don't think Australia are going to adopt dissimilar tactics to Poland, in the sense of stacking up the defence and trying to hit Argentina on the counter, but that's to worry about later for the Australians. So Martinez has it for Argentina. Been fairly comfortable in possession, even when they're going backwards. Argentina. It's not so much of a press as Krakowiak has. Well, he's fouled too many times. He did probably ultimately win the ball back off McAllister, but that's not before he'd fouled him a couple of times. So the yellow cards come out for Krakowiak. This is a challenge on the halfway line. And that's obviously not going to do the fair play stats any good, but I think Mexico are comfortably ahead of Poland in that sense.
Well, you say that. They're now on to 5 bookings are Poland. Mexico have got 7. We've still got 10 minutes, 12 minutes left to go here. They've got to be careful, otherwise, yeah, they find themselves in that situation. If they end up level on fair play points, it comes down to drawing lots to go through to the next round. I hope we don't get into that situation. There's a very realistic chance we could do. It's just 2 yellow cards in a game where you're trying to make sure you don't concede any further goals. Who knows? Yeah, we'll see how that pans out.
Pizzella and Martinez have come on for Argentina, like for like, really. Fernandez and Alvarez have gone off. Fresh legs up top. Tara Martinez hasn't scored yet in the tournament, so he might be keen to make an impression for Argentina, which is a great news for Poland, of course. He might not be. He'll have been sent on with instructions, though, and I'm sure he'll try and play to them. But actually they're controlling the flow of the game, Argentina, and again Poland are just stacking up the defence, getting 2 banks of 4. Lewandowski is sort of near the halfway line, not really pressuring the ball carrier. It's kind of, I mean, you might sympathise given the group situation, but it's difficult to be on board with this for a team who sat back for 79, 80 minutes to suddenly want them to go through. I mean, they've been pretty negative even when they've conceded goals. Yeah,
they really have. And just looking at the way they've shaped up now, Pizzella's actually gone in to make it a back 3 in this game. Central defender for Betis, and he's just dropped himself in between Otamendi and Romero on the ball now on the halfway line. So they've gone to a back 3 just to give themselves even more protection, taking off Fernandez in midfield and slotting another centre-back on, so really trying to shut up shop now, but Argentina.
Yeah, into the final 10. There will be some stoppage time, of course. This game, Poland-Argentina, is maybe 2 or 3 minutes beyond Mexico, Saudi Arabia, which won't be doing Poland any favours necessarily, as Argentina come forward again with Lionel Messi. 5 yards out. There's still those 2 banks to try and negotiate, which is the real urgency for Argentina to try and do that. They've just been forced away from goal. It's back with Zella on the halfway line. Intent to dominate possession without necessarily threatening a 3rd goal. Possession stats will be interesting. Poland have not had much. Ball over the top. I think Molina is in behind on the side. He's down the right wing though. Wants to hold it up. The support is late in arriving. Wasn't the space there. Messi finds McAllister. Worked out to the left-hand side of Tagliafico. Back to McAllister. He's only got Martinez to aim for. Can't find him. The clearance is gone as far as Tagliafico. Argentina have possession, still pretty high up the pitch, working the triangles before coming away from goal. Floated back to Romero on the halfway line. Ball's got to collect from him, driving forward, edge of the box. Molina's in space, right hand side. Control it first time, so the cross doesn't come in. Messi, 35 yards out, goes for the diagonal. Cross doesn't beat Matty Cash, and it's cleared downfield. Argentina will regain it halfway line. Bit of a hit and hope from Otamendi. I think Martinez was probably offside, but Flick has cleared it anyway. We've got 8 minutes to go with Argentina cruising in this one. The goal didn't come till the second half, but it came right in the first minute. And they've dominated the game since the very first, so they've got what they deserve. Here's Messi going right to the halfway line. He's beaten 1. Kovacic on a yellow card. Finds Martinez, who might have just got hammered as he tried to return it back to Messi. The pass is over here, it's gone behind. I think the referee says no foul, and it will just be a goal kick as Poland make a change. In fact, both sides are making a change. Kovac's got a yellow. You don't want to risk him. And I think it's Piatek who's coming on in his place.
Yeah, replacement there that seems to make sense. He'd just been twisted inside out by Lionel Messi and looked as though he was maybe in danger of actually committing a foul, which is the last thing that they really want now. So getting an attacker on as well is something that could prove to be maybe a better outlet for them, possibly get them further up the pitch.
Yeah, McAllister's going off as well, who scored for Argentina. Slight miscue. I didn't quite see who was coming on, so I'll confirm that in a moment. but Arsenal's had a decent game, always offering himself up down the left-hand side, seemed to work pretty well in tandem with whoever was playing at full-back. Almada has come on in his place as Argentina done the business, opened this tournament obviously with a shock defeat. They've done that before, back in 1990, still reached the final. Heading through this group as group winners. I don't think that is going to change now. Obviously Mexico catch them and they're 2-0 up with time running out. And I don't think Poland are going to score in this game. It's tough to see where a Polish goal might be coming from.
Yeah. No, they've just not offered anything, have they? It's been a really quiet night for Emi Martinez at the other end of the field. He's had absolutely nothing to do. Poland with one of the best strikers in the world, and they don't really give him any service. It's not really good enough, not ambitious enough.
What a free kick in the centre circle, Poland. I think the fans in the crowd are nervously checking their phones to find the score. In the other game, it's still Mexico leading by 2-0. So Poland still going through as group runners up, taking on France in the next round. But anything could happen in the next 5-6 minutes or so. Both games. Then, of course, the stoppage time. But Poland have some possession. They haven't had much in this second half. They did have a good chance for Glick from a set piece, but really, it's been their only opportunity in the second half. Now, oh, that's a poor back pass. Could be an opportunity. Lautaro Martinez, keeper to beat. Oh, he dragged it wide of the far post. Not a great finish at all. Absolute relief for Poland. That was terrible. But Martinez has missed the target.
Yeah, he's got to do better off the bench. Point to prove, not in the starting lineup today, having been preferred in the other two games. And he just slices it, scuffs it wide of the far post. It's a lack of composure once he gets through on goal there. See the sense of relief on the fans, on the faces of those Poland fans, as they know that goal going in would mean they drop down and out of contention to going through to the last 16. That's how tight it is.
Yeah, I think it was the substitute Januzewicz who gave it away. A little bit like McAllister's, or indeed Martinez's finish, scuffed it, and just played it to the Argentinian substitute. His keeper to beat, he's not hit the target, he's not even close really. A big miss, another let off for Poland. Don't forget Argentina missed a penalty as well, whether you thought it was a penalty or not. Chances have come the way of the men in blue, and despite defending in numbers, they haven't been able to limit those chances, Poland really. Obviously coming into this tournament, Argentina, what was it, a 36-match unbeaten run?
Yeah.
So they were a formed side. They started disappointingly, and it's worth mentioning, I know it was a shock, but they had 3 goals chalked off for offside, and Saudi Arabia ultimately had 3 efforts at goal, scored with 2 of them, so it's not as if you know, it was, they've got a little bit lucky, Saudi Arabia, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, they played well second half, Saudi Arabia. I think they deserve credit for that. But it was a case of Argentina, I think, were just shocked. They were stunned by what Saudi Arabia did, the way they came out with such intent in the second half, having been so passive in the first 45 minutes. And those 2 goals came pretty early on in the second half. Argentina then went in search of an equaliser, couldn't quite get it, but they went close on several occasions. That's why I said I think it's difficult really to gauge where this Argentina side is in terms of potential contenders to go all the way. I certainly wouldn't rule them out, but I think we do need to see a little bit more from them, and we maybe will only see that when someone's prepared to go and take them on and play a bit further up the pitch.
2.5 minutes of the 90 left, stoppage time as well, don't forget. Not sure there's been, other than substitutes and goals, I'm not sure there's been actually much time to add on, really. Obviously, we've seen double digits in other games, but it's not been that sort of game, maybe 5 or 6. So, obviously, time running out for Poland in terms of their defending that they're going to have to do. So that's largely what they've been doing in this game. And just hoping that Saudi Arabia hold on in the other game. Poland actually won the ball on the halfway line, but the ball is just given his man a little nudge in the back. It's a free kick. Zielinski it was, who was fouled. His time continues to tick. In the final two, I'm sure I'd enjoy being a Poland fan right now with 5 minutes to go, knowing that Mexico are leading 2-0 in the other game as well. Could get closer really, and potentially Poland are going through having picked up fewer yellow cards, which is I guess as tight as it's ever going to be. To teach Mexico to defend more cleanly in other games. It's happened before though, as the ball goes out of play for an Argentinian throw on the halfway line, left-hand side. He's been far superior to Poland. Lewandowski's it's difficult to have a go at him because he's had zero service, but he's wearing the captain's armband. I'm not sure I'd bother have given him the captain's armband.
It's difficult, isn't it? Oh, Mexico have scored a third. Mexico are going to be going through ahead of Poland. They are 3-0 up. Or is it going to count? No, it looks like it might have been ruled out again. Offside. That's twice that Mexico thought they'd gone 3-0 up, but no, it's ruled out. So as it stands still, it's Poland who will be heading through.
Yeah, Mexico had 2 goals chucked off, looked offside as well. Poland got some defending to do. Messi has it, can't find Martinez though. It's cleared away by Kivior downfield. Nobody in a red and white kit is anywhere near the halfway line, so Argentina will get the ball back. 90 minutes is about up, and obviously it's a question of stoppage time. Mexico still, of course, need to score to stop Poland from going through. They haven't had the greatest of joys in final tournament. 6 minutes of stoppage time to be played, Poland, so you can kind of understand the negativity. He's certainly taken a bit of a chance, but so far they've got away with it. The big chances since that click effort have obviously gone the way of Argentina. Think of the Martinez chance, the Alvarez chance. They could have easily made it 3 or 4, but not been taken. Argentina, but deserving winners with a little over 5 minutes of stoppage time left. It's men in blue coming forward down the left-hand side again. They've certainly kept plenty of width in this game, despite the substitutes that they've made. Full-backs have been desperate to get forward. As Argentina haven't really been desperate to score a third, have they, to be fair?
No, it matters little to them. They're top of the group. If they were still fighting to try and get up to that top spot, maybe they'd press on a bit more, and I think they'd probably have another goal in them if they wanted it.
Yes, they're working out to the right-hand side. Martinez feeding Molina. The ball infield to Messi. He might just be spurred on by missing a penalty in this game. He hasn't added to his World Cup tally. As Argentina probing around the edge of the box. Molina right edge. Poland, everybody back there. Lewandowski is among the defenders there, and it is forcing South Americans back towards the halfway line. Not even pressing the ball carrier. It's difficult to know how they're going to take positives from this game into a matchup with France in the next game.
Yeah, exactly. They've gone from taking on Australia and probably feeling quite confident about maybe getting to the quarterfinals to going up against France now, as it seems, and that's going to be so tough for them.
Argentina could have one last chance. It's dicked over the keeper, headed off the line though. Not quite off the line in the sense that he was a couple of yards from it, but the keeper beaten as a cross from Messi comes back in. It's deflected behind. That will just be a corner, but it's Tagliafico down the left. Whoever's been playing on the left wing for Argentina has almost had the freedom in and around the box. Chesney, did he get the ball? He definitely took out his man. But it was cleared away anyway by Kivior, and it is just going to be a corner kick to Argentina. Poland fans, they must be distraught. The nerves have been shredded.
Yeah, the heart rates are certainly high in the stands, and they're hoping and hanging on in these final stages.
Corner's worked back to Messi, 30 yards from goal. And he's just stood on the ball at the moment before eventually floating a ball out to right-hand side to Otamendi, but Argentina got away from goal. This will suit Poland. They are just desperate that Mexico don't get a third goal, because that seems to be the biggest danger in terms of the time left in this game. We're into the final 3 minutes of stoppage time. There's no doubt about it. Argentina have missed some big chances in this game. So scored a third, fourth, fifth goal. It just hasn't come. There's 7 minutes of stoppage time in the other game incidentally, which they've only just entered into. So Poland fans are going to have a nervous wait around about 2.5 minutes time. Here is Argentina bringing it forward. It's with Martinez. Messi got in his way, and then it's a poor pass from Martinez. I don't think Messi did him any favours there. Now the break is on for Poland. Decent run to win a throw-in on the halfway line. It's a Poland throw. Don't think we'll be in a rush to take this with 2 minutes of stoppage time to play.
No, I wouldn't expect so. They're going to use every opportunity to try and see this one through in these final moments. Like you say, we've seen stuff like this before when 2 games are so intertwined and one finishes 2, 3, 4 minutes before the other, and it's that wait, no celebration immediately on the pitch. But there'll be an eruption of relief at Stadium 974 if Mexico fail to go and get that winning goal after the full-time whistle. Well, they are winning, but that third goal that's going to see them go up to second once the full-time whistle goes in our match.
Yeah, Mexico, of course, hoping Argentina get a third, or Poland pick up 3 or 4 yellow cards. Was it 2 yellow cards?
2 yellow cards.
There's only 90 seconds left of stoppage time.
Or 1 red.
Or 1 red. Kokoda, of course, has been subbed. He was on a yellow card. Messi's won a free kick, but it's near the halfway line. No necessarily imminent danger. Not quite now with Lionel Messi and co. Mexico still at lead by only 2 goals to nil. Argentina lead by 2 goals to nil. Into the final minute of stoppage time. Poland, I don't suppose they'd make any excuses for just getting bodies back behind the ball. Will take a 2-0 defeat. You can't really blame Argentina for not really pushing a third. They needed to win this game.
No, they put the hard work in first half, pressing on, early stages second, getting the goals. And now it's a case of why would you want to expend any further energy? They know the job's done. They've got games on the horizon. They want to go deep in this competition. Players don't want to put themselves in a position where they're emptying the tank. It's about holding on to the ball, as we've seen a couple of times. Yes, if they get the space, if it opens up, then we'll go and try and take it. But other than that, let's just keep hold of it.
Yeah, I wonder if Poland players had a word with their opposition. Take it easy, lads. We'll both go through. We won't put a stiff challenge in.
Would you rather play us again or Mexico, maybe?
Lionel Messi has it, but 6 minutes of stoppage time have been completed. It's a question of what further time is added on. There isn't any time added on. It's all over to Mexico. Poland are just waiting for the other result. Argentina have been too good today. They could have easily won by more than the scoreline that they did. But as things stand, both sides are progressing. Argentina is group winners. Full time is finished. Argentina 2, Poland 0.